Hi everyone. I'm very excited for today's chat. I'm Apurva Damani and I'm waiting for Payal Kothari, who's a nutritionist and a health coach, joining us for today's Instagram Live. A little bit about Payal before she joins in. She believes that diets fail and you should focus on transforming your body instead. She has two kids. One's a 17-year-old, one's a 9-year-old. And she's popular with teenagers as well as with millennials and Generation Z in helping them to transform their bodies through a holistic 360-degree approach to nutrition. And very, very excited to have her join. We're just having a little bit of a technical issue at this point, so we're just going to wait for her to join in. In the meanwhile, I'll apprise you a little bit. Hi, Payal.
Hey, Apurva.
So excited to have you here. I was just telling our viewers a little bit about you. So on your Instagram bio, you say that diets fail, but you should focus on transforming yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
And you also have two children who are 17 and 9-year-old, and therefore you know how to work with children in that age category as well as a health nutritionist and as a coach.
Yeah, that's right. In fact, one of them is right here taking a picture for me. Say hi.
Hi.
Hi, how are you doing?
Good.
He's having a bad hair day. Go, go, go. Okay, so hi, Apurva. Thank you so much for having me here on Basis. And it's an honor to be here. Thank you. And I'd love to share my experience and I'd love to share my journey with all you ladies out there.
Super. We're very excited to have you, Payal. It's been, I've personally known you for a few years now, and you've been, very supportive throughout my own journey in many ways. And I'm just so excited to have you here to be a part of this speaker chat and to inspire our listeners as well. Great. So, Payal, if you want to talk a little bit about your journey on health, nutrition, and fitness, and what really got you to this point.
Yeah, sure. Let's start with that. So I was a sick child. I was sick. I had tuberculosis when I was 2. So I took an entire year's medication, the 9-month course, and then another 3-month course of antibiotics or whatever meds you need to recover from tuberculosis. So I grew up as a malnourished child. The meds kind of ruined my intestines, the capacity of digestion and absorption. It kind of really ruined it till I was 13. So malnourished till I was 13, and post 13 I moved towards being obese. So post puberty, post having my period, I kind of moved towards being obese. So from being malnourished to being obese, that whole journey, um, when I was 15, kind of made me look back on what has really gone wrong with me. Apurva, I'm second born, so I kind of grew up literally by myself. If we have second born listeners here, they'll understand what I'm saying. We grew up independently on our own. So I kind of tend to look back and understand that what really went wrong. Like, why am I craving so many sugars? Why am I feeling so I have so many mood swings, hormones. So I figured, I tried to go back and I figured that it was the meds that kind of ruined my gut health. So I did a lot. I was a biology student. I loved biology. So I did a lot of body anatomy, and I understood that the whole digestive system starts from our mouth to our anus. So, and we have 100 trillion bacteria within our body. So that kind of plays a huge role in digestion, absorption, excretion, and all of that. So
Yeah.
yeah, so that uh, because of the meds, kind of had a dysbiosis. Kind of because of the meds, there was a imbalance in that. So that's why I was craving all the sugary, junk, salty, spicy stuff, like in extremes. So
Yeah.
once I understood that, I went on a complete reboot of my body. I did a lot of moong ka pani. You know, when my mom used to boil mug at home, the pressure cooker, I used to drink that water because that is the protein.
Yeah.
Then I did a lot of paneer ka pani. So the paneer, the fat was out, but I had the whey. So I
Yeah.
had a lot of whey, you know, the water out of that. Then I did a lot of chash. I did a lot of fruits. I drank a lot of water. So I did a lot of home stuff, and I used to keep reading. I used to keep asking mom, what can I do? I have acne, I have pimples, what do I do? So mom used to make me all her Ayurvedic jadi booties. So all her
Yeah.
concoctions, which were disgusting, with ashwagandha, brahmi, shikakai, amla, all of that. And I used to just drink it just to make my skin look good, my hair glow, and my hair, you know, I had lovely hair, so I wanted to maintain that
Yeah.
shine in my hair. So I did all of that, and I saw a huge change in my mental and my physical wellness.
So
That's how
what
the
you're
journey
saying,
started.
what you're really saying is you did a lot of home remedies, really, something that old wives, and mothers, grandmothers really sort of prescribed to.
Yep.
And, it in a way, it almost helped you get off your meds,
Yep.
and really just reboot your system and get you to feel healthier. And
Yep.
of course, these were in your younger years, right? So
Yeah.
as you grew older, you then started getting into the whole health and nutrition sort of, uh,
Yep.
professionally as a career.
Yeah, so I did a lot of trial and errors on myself, and I understood this suits me, this doesn't suit me. I would listen to my body all the time, and it always gave me signals instantly. Like if I would start eating more of the bread, my body would start giving me, you know, acid reflux or constipation or some kind of allergy. So I had to curb on the bread. I knew it's not suiting me. So I did a
Yeah.
lot of trial and errors on me. Then I picked up a lot of certifications to certify myself and to authorize my practice. So I did all of that, and
Yeah,
that's how my
I mean,
yeah.
just to tell, our viewers a little bit about your certification. So you've certified from the Institute of Integrative Nutrition from New York, USA. You've also been certified by the K11 Academy.
Mhm.
You've done, a certification in neurolinguistic programming. So you've got the nutrition side as well as how to communicate, right? And how to communicate your point effectively. So you picked up all those skill sets to then embark on your career.
Yeah, I had to holistically integrate all the foods, the primary and the secondary, primary being our mental wellness, and secondary being the food that we eat on our plate. So I wanted to
Interesting.
integrate everything together, and then it's a sustainable plan, because anyone can go on a diet, anybody can do fat diets, but how sustainable are they? They're not sustainable, Apurva. You know, you lose weight for a wedding, for a destination wedding, or you lose weight for your 40th birthday, for your 30th birthday, but
Yeah.
eventually after that birthday is gone, the motivation's gone, and then
Yeah.
you gain that weight back. I've seen that in brides. When the brides come to me, I tell them, this is not just for your D-Day. You've got to continue this for the rest of your life. It's a lifestyle change. So I groom them and I train them according to their lifestyle change. It becomes a habit, it becomes a second nature, what to drink, how much water to have, when to get your workout in, how to focus on your work, how to have cognitive fitness. So we talk
Right.
about everything in the 12 weeks transformation that I do for my whoever comes to me, be it an 8-year-old child or a teenager, or be it a 40-year-old who's celebrating, or someone who's getting married. It could be anybody. But
Right.
I've figured most people need gut and mental wellness. If these two things are together and focused on and considered also during a weight loss plan, it's a sustainable plan. They can get back. Like, none of my clients have ever gotten back into being fat or obese, or they play around with 2 kilos here and there, but that's okay.
Yeah.
They don't gain back the 15 or 20 or 10 kilos that they have lost with me, because they really know how to do it.
So interestingly, I mean, you're called coach by your clients,
Mhm.
and you work a lot with millennials, with Generation Z, with teenagers, right? And uh, why don't you talk to us a little bit about why it's so important to target, that particular age group and get them started on their wellness journey? What are the issues that they are battling today?
Sure. This is my favorite age group. Really, they're so cute, and they shock me. Like, I mean, their attitude is so different. The way they've been grown up is so different. They're so into, very focused as well. But the
Yeah,
problem is that our food industry, Apurva, has really not been that great. We've allowed everything to come in, right? We've allowed all the food chains, the fast food chains to come in. So it's not their fault. They've become
yeah,
so, they lean towards a quick meal. They wanna, because it's become a hangout joint. So
yeah,
they're tempted, plus peer pressure. So I don't blame them, going to these fast food chains. I don't want to give names because that's not where we are leading to, but we all know what
right.
I'm talking about, right? They want to be seen there, they want to hang out there. They're addicted to the refined sugar that they are serving, right, in the form of
Yeah,
liquids and foods. So, and that's why India has a double burden of malnutrition and obesity. So, although
mm,
we see millennials who are obese, Apurva, if you walk around on the road and if you see out of 1 out of 10, 8 of our kids are obese or borderline obese. Out of 10. And this is not my statistics, this is the World Health Organization statistics about the world. So, our biggest problem, of course, right now we are in the world's biggest, largest problem of COVID 19, the
yeah,
pandemic of coronavirus. But after this, our next pandemic or our next problem is going to be obesity, because of sedentary lifestyles and because the kind of food our children are consuming. That's why you're seeing so many cases of anxiety, depression, mood swings. Like, so
yeah,
my teenagers come for skinny legs, they come for a six pack abs, they come for
yeah.
glowing skin. Like, I want my skin to shine. So I tell them, I'll give you all of that. And I start speaking their language. I say, eat a kale or eat spinach or eat beetroot. I don't tell them
Yeah,
it's good for your gut. I tell them it's great for your skin. It's great for your hair. It's great
sure.
for, yeah, like I never knew what is a thigh gap. So they teach me so much. So I tell them, do this workout, do weight training. It's great for your thigh gap.
Right,
I don't have to tell them
right.
it's great for your metabolism or it's great to build muscle. I just tell them it's great for your thigh gap. So yeah,
No, so interestingly, you brought up the pandemic, and I wanted to integrate that in here, right? And a lot of people, are at home right now. It's been almost, the sixth week now of
yeah,
the lockdown that we're going to go into. And what can they do at home to integrate, both, like you said, the mind as well as their actual, physical system,
yeah.
and just survive through it is a very tough time that everybody is going through.
Yeah, it's really one of the toughest moments emotionally, spiritually, physically for all of us. First of all, we are
Yeah,
locked down. Secondly, when you look at the news and when you see migrants suffering, people don't have enough food to eat.
yeah,
It spiritually also takes you somewhere else. You want to be more grateful, and you want to, I mean, I lose my appetite, Apurva, very frankly, when I see these things on TV, and I just feel an avocado is not important right now. What's important is just eating my basic meals and trying to save our country. First of all, Mumbai is the worst hit. So trying to stay
yeah,
indoors, not step out for stupid, non-essential things. So this
right.
pandemic it's been a huge eye opener for me and for many others. I'm sure we're all sitting and we're all joking about it and we all tend to get frustrated. But when we sleep at night, I'm sure we're all sleeping with a prayer for everybody who's lost their lives or everybody who's struggling in today's, with COVID 19. But, anyways, what we can do from our end and what I have been doing is I've been doing a lot of immunity boosting recipes on my Instagram page. So,
Okay.
yeah, so I have made one right now. I'm going to flip the screen if it makes any, oops, I'm sorry. It moved to my ring light. Okay, so here, I'm going to show it to you here. Apurva, just tell me if you can see the entire tray.
Yes, yes, we can see the tray. Yeah.
Okay, great. So this is the immunity bullet balls that I usually make for my children and for my neighbors or for my family and friends. So this is Amba Haldi. So these are
Amba
all from,
haldi is
yeah,
raw turmeric, right?
yeah, it's
Yeah.
turmeric in a potent form of turmeric. So if you don't
Okay.
have curcumin, you can always use haldi, ghar ka haldi.
Okay.
Yeah, so this is haldi, this is ghee for the ones who eat ghee. For those who don't, I have got coconut oil for vegans.
Right.
Then we have
Right.
jaggery. We're going to make bullet immunity balls for those who are joining in now. So this is
Right.
turmeric, this is ghee, this is coconut oil, this is jaggery, this is black pepper, because this kind of activates the turmeric, the curcuminoids from the turmeric. This is
Right.
apna soot, dry ginger, and
Dry
this
ginger.
is, yeah, and this is cinnamon powder.
Dalchini. Yeah.
Yeah, so all of this, I'll send you a screenshot. You can share it with your group later.
Yeah.
And you actually have to make these kind of balls. So you mix all the ingredients together and you make such balls.
Okay.
Yeah, immunity balls. And you can have
Sort of like a
one,
laddu.
like a laddu, chota sa,
Yeah.
½ inch in diameter. And you can have one on a daily basis to build your immunity. So this really helps the
Right.
gut-brain axis. We have a gut-brain axis. So whatever you feel in the gut, you're feeling in the brain. Whatever you feel in the brain, you're feeling in the gut. So we actually
That's
have a
why they
gut.
call it the second brain.
Exactly. So we
Yeah.
feel everything. And the gut and brain, Apurva, is constantly messaging each other, what you're doing, hey, what's up. So it's like a hotline, a bi-directional hotline between the two. So everything that you put in your gut instantly goes to the brain, and whatever you think instantly goes to the gut. So this axis kind of needs a lot of healing. So we need to start healing with foods which are good for your gut, and then you're going to start seeing better moods in your head. So that's why the gut brain axis is super important. And that's what happened to me when I was a child. It got disconnected because of the
Right.
meds. So the medication and all of that put me off track. I couldn't focus. I was one of the most brilliant students in school, Apurva, but something went wrong and I put the entire blame on the medication that I had to take, the antibiotics, which kind of
Right.
disconnected me from reality because I wasn't present here.
Right. So what you're saying is for everybody who is at home right now,
Yeah.
it's really easy for them to do this. And it's all home ingredients. You will
Yeah.
find all of this in your kitchen. And you can just make these small immunity booster balls or laddus, mini laddus, if we can call them, and just take them on a daily basis to help our gut and therefore help us get through such a stressful time through easing our yeah, so the
Anxiety.
gut will activate the brain and it'll help with the anxiety.
Yep.
I want to segue to a different topic at this point. I want to talk about Payal, you as an entrepreneur, right? And we've spoken a little bit about this, but I want to share this with everybody who's joining in as well. So you started off on your career as a nutritionist and you have big plans in store for you. So tell us a little bit about the journey as an entrepreneur and what your grand visions are.
Sure, it's my favorite topic. I think I have this business woman kida, as I told you last time, that because I grew up in a business home, I
Yes.
always looked at myself as an entrepreneur. I never looked at as myself that I'll be in a job or a salary based job or work under someone. I always looked at what can I create on my own. So I started my journey with nutrition and wellness, and then I moved to Hong Kong where I had both my kids, and then I knew that there's a huge gap between branded the sportswear. So I started manufacturing sportswear in Hong Kong and manufacturing them there and bringing them down to India. And we had the most awesome fabric in place, we had designs in place, we had the, we had the works in place. But what happened to me as an entrepreneur then, Apurva, was I was running the whole show by myself. I was a one-man army, which kind of gives you only a one person's perspective, right? It doesn't allow you to see the marketing bit, it doesn't allow you to see the employee side, it doesn't allow you to see the accounts side. So I made a little
Sure.
mistake, not little, I made a huge mistake in my first journey. I kind
Sure.
of I put all my eggs in one basket. I should have, like, my corpus that I had for my brand, I should have divided it between,
Right.
okay, this goes for marketing, this goes for um, uh, advertising, this goes
Right.
for the rental, this goes for the brand image, which is so important right now. So I
Right.
made a mistake by not focusing on different aspects of the business. So
Right.
we
Right.
went ahead and did it for 3 years, but we made a huge loss and we had to shut down, unfortunately. But it was a great learning experience, and I had a lot of support from my friends and family. Even today, when we talk about Pure Connections, the brand, it was called Pure Connections, we still uh, learn so much from that mistake, that now that I'm planning to create my own online portal, I've understood that I may have great content, I may have great entrepreneurial skills, but along with that, I need my other people in place. I need my, I need my CA in place, I need my marketing team in place, I need my social media team in place. And today, digital marketing is so important in today's time and age. We need
Right.
that in place, right? So we need, again, like how I do nutrition in a holistic way, I need to run a business in a holistic way. So I try to integrate that into this.
So what you're saying is, you tried with a venture, and it failed, but it didn't stop you, and it taught you that, while you were a one-man army, you really needed a whole team that handled different aspects of the business,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
Maybe bringing on experts who are better than yourself in different
Yes.
functions, right?
Yes.
Somebody to handle marketing, somebody to handle accounts, somebody to handle
Mm-hmm.
the operations, and then you could then take on one specific piece within your entrepreneurial venture.
Exactly, because I can't be good at everything, Apurva. Otherwise, everything is
Absolutely.
going to be only from my perspective. So I need a team to take me forward. I can always spearhead it, but I need their expertise also.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
because
Uh,
the amplitude and the frequency, the way things are moving today, and especially in the lockdown, so many businesses are going to take a hit. So many people are going to come out feeling miserable or feeling really upset,
right.
or their businesses are going to completely shut down. Like all luxury markets, travel is going to go for a toss. Diamonds and
Yeah,
jewelry is going nowhere because people need essentials right now. So
yeah.
many people are going to come out with so much anxiety that we all need to understand and deal with this lockdown in such a way that we are able to face the lock up, if I may call it, because once it opens up, we'll all have to rethink our modules and our models of our business.
Right. So, I also want to take this time to really ask you, of course, everybody has made mistakes at some point in their time about, money, and, like you said, you made mistakes with your entrepreneurial venture. And I want to segue to talking about the journey, right, financially hasn't been easy. And it's come at a high cost of learning as well, from starting your own business, having to shut it down, and having the courage to start up again. So,
Mm-hmm.
what would you like to share with our viewers, about your own journey with money and what they can learn from you?
Sure. So, financial independence, first of all, is the motive. I
Yeah,
always, I love being financially independent. It's not about my money or my husband's money or my dad's money. It's just about money, right? That you don't have to ask, you're not questionable. Why do you need that money?
sure,
Even
sure,
if in
yeah,
certain homes, people don't ask you, they just hand over that amount to you. But still, there is a certain guilt that we always carry that I'm using or spending someone else's money. Earlier it was papa's, now it's husband's, and then it'll be our
Right.
son, right? If we have children, that's
Right.
how our culture is, right? That the
Right.
female depends on the male for finances. So that kind of would always, it didn't um, it just pinched me. It bothered me. Not that anybody ever said no to me, Apurva, but it
Right.
was me that I wanted my own money. That when I give it back to the society, it's my karma, right? It's very karmic. This whole money thing is very karmic. We're exchanging energies. If someone's working for me, I want to pay them back. I want to give them a salary to see their house and their people grow. I
Right.
wanted that karma for me. So
Right.
being financially independent was the most important thing. And yeah, and I restarted because nothing can stop me. It's a tough journey. It's not a piece of cake. You fail once, you can fail twice, but the third and fourth time you are going to succeed. And I have managed that. I'm very grateful and very thankful that in the worst moments of my life, where my husband's uh, his business also took a huge hit. It was from riches to rags story, but that's the moment when my things got better. Maybe I focused better, or
Sure.
maybe it was supposed to, it was meant to be, right? So,
Sure.
yeah, so I didn't lose hope. We didn't lose hope. We were there. I had a good support system of females in my house. My mom, my sisters, my friends, they would call me every single day. Like my friends from New York would call me. My friends from Bombay would call me. And it was a blessing in disguise for me.
That you had to stand up and take charge of, your own finances and even help your husband, where required.
Yeah. Like, for women, it's like you run the house, you're taking care of the kids, you're also
Yeah.
working, you're taking care of your
Yeah.
parents, you're taking care of your in-laws, you also want to be in
Yeah.
the group, you want to cook. So there's so many roles that we're playing, Apurva. But if you focus, you can do all.
Sure.
Yeah. if
Sure.
if you focus, and if you cut the crap out of your life, you cut the negativity out of your life, you cut the naysayers, who are
Sure.
constantly telling you can't do this or trying to put you down, that hey, I saw your video but the hair didn't look good, hey, I saw your post but this was missing. So there's so many naysayers and so many negative people around you just trying to pull you down. They have that crab mentality.
Sure.
This really happens amongst women. Maybe it happens amongst men also, but they don't talk
Right.
about it and we don't know. But amongst women, I feel if your tribe is trying to pull you down, leave that tribe. Stay in a
Right.
group which is supporting each other. Stay in a group which is constantly updating you with new things. Like if I find something new, I'll send it to all my clients, to all my friends, that hey, this is new, let's do this.
Very, yeah, no, that's great. Find support as
Yes.
and when you need it, right?
Yeah.
Because it's not an easy journey. You can't do it alone. You need your tribe, you need your team with you.
Definitely, definitely. You need all of
Yeah,
this with you, and you need your own space also. Like if you're
yeah,
just going all out giving and giving and giving without receiving, or without allowing that or the other person to give you. Like today, if my sisters want to support me, Apurva, I'm gladly happy to receive.
sure,
Earlier I would say no, I don't need anything, I'm fine, but today I say no, it's okay. I have to be open to receiving. That's when the
sure,
abundance is going to come in. So we have to work a lot on our mental wellness as well, because we come from such limiting beliefs of what women are supposed to do and are not supposed to do. So we
sure,
need to
sure.
get rid of those limiting beliefs, and that comes with a lot of me time,
Yeah,
because
just
we're just
taking that
giving,
time
right? We're
to,
giving. So we
yeah,
need to also receive, and I receive a lot from my sky, my universe, my tribe, my food.
sure,
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm always looking out from where can I receive in an organic way to fill my
So,
cup up.
At this point in time, Payal, I'm just going to quickly check our comments just to see if anybody has any questions. I'm just going to wait
Sure.
to see if our users have any questions at all about,
Sure.
what we've spoken about, whether it's been boosting your immunity, boosting your mental wellness and health, whether it's starting your own entrepreneurial venture and being willing to fail and stand up and try all over again, or whether it's been about finding your own support system in the tough times to help you, sail through the bad and the good. So at this point in time, I think nobody has. Oh, that's a very nice comment. It says, yes, we should have our own tribe in the company of our cheerleaders. Thank you so much for that, Doc Pooja 2001.
Cool.
It's a really great suggestion. What are your thoughts on eating vegan / plant-based?
Plant-based. Yeah, so I do a lot of plant-based recipes as well, because I believe that nature, as much as nature is outside us, nature is inside of us, like the microbiome that we have in our gut, which needs to multiply, the bacteria that needs to multiply on a daily basis with the prebiotics and the probiotics that we hear a lot of, the capsules which are available. So we don't need to take any capsules, supper pop-up. We can get that from plant-based recipes and plant-based meals. So let's say, I'll give you a couple of tips. Prebiotics from beetroot, sweet potato, and fermented rice. Great. All three are great for prebiotics. And probiotics. So you don't have to do yogurt, because vegans can't have yogurt. So prebiotic, you can do kefir. Kefir and kombucha are available outside. And if you don't want to go there, you can do kanji ka pani, like kanji vada, Apurva,
Rice
like,
kanji.
right? Yeah, rice kanji, or you can do kanji, mustard kanji with mustard seeds. You grind the mustard seeds, soak it overnight in the water. Next morning, you can put in all your chaat masala, lemon, and you can drink that water and eat kanji vada in it. So we can cover prebiotics and probiotics in a plant-based vegan nutrition plan.
Okay, we have a lot of questions actually coming in, but we won't have time to answer everything because we are shooting a little bit over time.
Yeah.
But I'm just going to run you through a little, a couple of the questions that have come in. Symptoms of bad gut health. How does dairy mess with your gut health?
Okay, so I'm going to take symptoms of bad gut health, Apurva. Let's take one at a time and quick. Symptoms of bad gut health: acne, dandruff, acidity, acid reflux, bloating, Alzheimer's, thyroid, diabetes, migraines, brain fog, autism. All these are symptoms of a poor gut. Constipation, diarrhea, IBS, irritable bowel syndrome, Hashimoto's, or any kind of eczema. All these are symptoms of a bad gut. No medical practitioner actually tells you that your problem is the gut. They treat it from only the symptoms. They don't go down to the root cause of it. But if you fix your gut without dairy, without gluten, without alcohol, without smoking, without shisha, without any medications, and with a good positive mindset, you can heal your gut in 2 days.
How do we, does dairy mess with your gut health?
Most definitely it does. So be careful where your milk is coming from. Go to the farm, check out the farm, see how they're handling the cows. If they're doing it in a good way, then it's clean milk, you can have that. But if they're torturing the cows, and if they're giving the cows grain, if the cow is grain fed and not grass fed, then it's going to mess up your gut health. So be very careful of where your dairy is coming from.
Okay, and the last question we're going to take is how to manage stress. There's a couple more questions, but I think we can direct the users to your platform and they can look at your Instagram handle and go through some of those questions that you've probably answered there. So the last question that we're going to close with is, how do you manage stress?
How do I manage stress?
or just generally for
Okay,
the
so
users? Yeah.
my go-to stress busters are, I was raised a Jain, so I do a lot of prayers in my temple. I have a small little temple at home, so I pray. And my second go-to is meditation. I don't do any guided meditation, Apurva. I do meditation. For me is quiet time. I allow all the thoughts to come up. She said this, he said this, oh my God, what's going to happen, the lockdown, how will my business grow, all those
Yeah.
thoughts which are suppressed in my gut, I allow them to rise. And then I pray to the universe to send me answers, and I get my answers.
Great.
Another great way to release stress, not spiritually, is workout. Release your stress through your muscle. So you release all the extra cortisol from your muscle and you are going to feel awesome. You'll release oxytocin, endorphins, serotonins, and dopamine.
And the best relaxant to stress is actually getting your 8 hours of sleep. I'm sure everybody already knows that, but to
Yes.
practice that is a very difficult thing. So if you get your beauty sleep, you're going to have a good day.
Yeah. Sleep every day at the same time and wake up at the same time. Habits are what entrepreneurs need, and habits have what Mark Zuckerberg and Bill Gates and Warren Buffett, and they all talk about habits. So we are on a platform where we're building entrepreneurs. So if you don't have a habit, if you don't have a routine, it's not going to work for your business.
Right. Payal, I'm just going to summarize some of those, pointers that we've discussed already. So you started off with talking about your journey as a coach, as an integrative nutritionist and a health coach, talking about how you work with teenagers, and walking us through how we can manage our stress through this pandemic with these small immunity laddus. We also spoke about trying your hand at a business and failing and standing up again. And really what financial independence means to you is to be able to not have to answer to anybody, whether it's your father, your brother, your husband, to anybody, or your son, about money and how the way you choose to spend it or the way you choose to save and invest it.
Yeah, and more so for karma, just I want to empower other people who are less privileged or underprivileged with the money I make.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, giving back to society.
Exactly.
And lastly, being able to manage our mind-gut connection through making the right food choices and being able to manage our stress as well. It's been lovely speaking to you. It's always a pleasure
Likewise, it's been
speaking to you.
so nice, Apurva.
And I'm just going to request our community, if they have any questions, they should go to your Instagram handle, which is Payal Kothari.
Nutrition.
And Payal Kothari Nutrition, and the website is payalkothari.com.
That's right.
Thank you so much for your time, Payal. It's been a real pleasure. Have a really good day ahead.
Thank
and
you.
A
it's been
great
my
week
pleasure
ahead.
too, and I really love your community. I love their comments. They're really engaged. Thank you guys for listening to me. And thanks, Apurva, for having me.
No, it's been a real pleasure. Thank you so much. Stay home, stay safe, wash your hands.
Yes, thanks.
Have a great week ahead.
You too. Bye, Apurva.
Bye.